Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. A cool breeze coming in off the lake, but a very pleasant night, final day of August as the Cubs get ready for the stretch run. 3.5 games ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they welcome in the Atlanta Braves to start a weekend set. Great to have you with us tonight, Jim Deshaies and Len Kasper, and the weather has cooled off. Let's hope, however, the Cubs bats stay hot.
17 runs last night, 17 runs for the second time in the last 5 ball games, 20 hits. If we highlighted everybody that had a big night last night, we wouldn't be able to show you the first inning of tonight's game. So we'll focus on the infielders. Anthony Rizzo stays red hot. Ian Happ, a triple shy of the cycle, 3 out of 5 with a home run. Hit that 1-2 pitch breaking ball down and in. That's a weak spot for him, so that was most impressive. There's Almago, the magic man, Javi Baez stealing home. He also delivered with the bat, 2 out of 5. Drove in 2.
And Chris Bryant just continuing to get on base. 3 out of 4, scored a couple of runs as the Cubs blew out the Pittsburgh Pirates to engineer their 7th sweep of the season. So tonight, Kyle Hendricks will take the ball. His changeup was dazzling his last time out.
Yeah, boy, he got a ton of swing and misses with his changeup. Last time he struck out 8, did not walk anybody in that start against the Phillies, allowed just 6 hits. He's been on a real good roll now over his last 5 or 6 starts.
Left-hander Sean Newcomb will go for Atlanta. He got his career off to a good start. He has struggled here as of late.
Yeah, Cubs saw him back in July, knocked him around pretty good last time out against the Rockies. 4 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs. He's got good stuff. He's got a big arm.
Cubs finishing up a huge month of August in terms of offense. They'll try to keep it rolling tonight as they welcome in Freddie Freeman and the Braves next.
On CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And Southwest Airlines, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Mr. Kasper, it's my first Cubs game. Put me on TV, please. There you go. Your wish is our command. Call me Len. It's a little breezy. Hopefully the fans here brought an extra jacket. We've got a pretty stiff breeze coming in off Lake Michigan as the Cubs and Braves open up a 4-game holiday weekend series. Quality babies at the ballpark. And the Braves Southwest starting lineup looks like this. Ender Inciarte had 8 hits yesterday in a doubleheader. Ozzie Albies, one of their top prospects, now playing second every day. Freddie Freeman, one of the best in the business at first. Matt Kemp is in left. Nick Markakis recently got his 2,000th career hit. Kurt Suzuki back at the plate. Tyler Flowers just went on the DL. Jace Peterson in for Brandon Phillips, who was scratched. Reportedly, the Braves might be looking to trade him. Dansby Swanson is at short, and the pitcher Sean Newcomb bats ninth.
Cubs defensively, John Jay made 2 spectacular plays. Well, one in particular last night in center field. He plays left field tonight. Albert Almora Jr. is in center. Ian Happ gets a start in right. Bryant and Baez on the left side of the infield. Let's focus on the right side a little bit. Ben Zobrist has made 1 error all year long, and that came in the 3rd game of the season. Anthony Rizzo has made 3 errors all season long, and he has not committed one since April 24th. So, outstanding work by those guys on the right side of the infield. Rene Rivera gets another start behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Kyle Hendricks. Lexus experience amazing. He's 5-4 with a 3.45 ERA. Over his last 7 starts, he's pitched to a 2.48, just 1-1 in that stretch. Bunch of no decisions. Run support has been a bit of an issue. Last time it was not. They put 17 runs up on the board for him in his last start against the Fightin' Phils.
Veteran C.B. Buckner from Jamaica, 18 years in the big leagues, will work home plate. The crew chief is Fieldon Culbreth. Manny Gonzalez is at second, and Joliet, Illinois native Mark Carlson over at third. Braves swept a doubleheader in Philadelphia yesterday. Cubs coming off a sweep over the Pirates, and we're underway. A strike on Ender Inciarte. Cubs 3.5 up in the NL Central, a season high 12 over 500. The Braves are in third in the National League East, 21.5 back of Washington, as that ball is caught by Ian Happ. 68 degrees as we get started.
It's autumnal.
Feels colder than that. With the northeast wind at 17.
Yeah, blowing in. Good night to pitch. Braves club 11th in the National League in runs scored, 13th in home runs, and that's playing their home games in their new ballpark, which is very home run friendly. So not doing a lot in the power department. They hit for average. That's the one thing they do.
Yeah, they're about major league average in terms of runs per game at 4.58. And they don't strike out a lot. They don't walk very often. Ozzie Albies. The young middle infield has been really good here offensively lately. We mentioned Brandon Phillips at the beginning of August. He moved over to third to make room for Albies at second. And Phillips was scratched from the lineup, and all kinds of reports are that he is pondering whether or not he wants to be traded. And this is the kind of second deadline in that. To be eligible for a postseason roster, you have to be in that organization by midnight Eastern tonight. So Albies takes ball 4. Here's Freddie Freeman. I remember Jeff Conine in 2003. With Baltimore. I think they were flying home from the West Coast when he was officially traded to Florida, like minutes before the September 1st deadline. We have all kinds of fun stories regarding this time of the year. You can still acquire a guy in September, but if you make the playoffs,
he's not eligible.
He's got to sit out.
Yeah.
Lead by Albies as Freeman takes a strike, 1-1.
Freeman having a very good year, was having a beast of the eye. Got him.
He is out by a mile. Hendricks picks off another runner at first.
Yeah, base runners are 9 out of 10 when trying to steal against Kyle Hendricks, but that doesn't tell the whole story. That's the 5th man he has picked off this year. He's out in no man's land. Anthony could have tossed that ball up in the air, caught it, and still tagged him out.
Two and one on Freeman. 2 outs, nobody on. Missed some time earlier this season with a fractured wrist. 44 games he missed. He was leading the National League at that time in home runs. As he draws ball 4, so Hendricks uncharacteristically walking 2 here in the first inning.
Yeah, Freeman, the one guy in their lineup, will better than league average in terms of walk rate. He and Markakis actually, but for the most part they're free swingers. Fourth in the league in batting average, but just 9th in on base.
Strike on the veteran Matt Kemp. DL time recently. He has been on the shelf twice this year with right hamstring issues. 9 times in his major league career he's been on the DL. And he's down 0-2 here. turns 33 in about 3 weeks. And laid off that pitch. And it's 1-2. We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Gridley Cable in McLean County, Illinois. Great to have you with us tonight.
Kemp, not the lean, athletic outfielder he once was. He put on some weight. Struggles defensively.
First strikeout for Hendricks. 2 walks, no runs in the Braves' first. Big ones last night. A season high 20 hits. Jay, Zobrist, and Bryant at the top. Rizzo, Almora, Baez in the middle. Ian Happ in a great stretch. Rivera had that big night last night, and the pitcher Kyle Hendricks, who had 2 hits in an inning in his last start.
Braves defensively, we talked about Kemp, used to be a very good outfielder, not so much anymore. But the guy next to him, Ender Inciarte, one of the best in the business, won a Gold Glove last year. Markakis in right, Peterson in for Phillips at third. The youngsters up the middle, Swanson and Albies. Freddie Freeman, very good over there at first. Kurt Suzuki gets the catching assignment tonight. The Lexus starting pitcher is a rookie left-hander by the name of Sean Newcomb. Overall, the numbers not really impressive. 2-7 with a 4.36. Better of late. 4-pitch mix, fastball, curve, slider, change.
1-1 to Jay. Misses. If Jay gets a hit here, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and there have been a lot of donations here lately, including last night when Jay led off the first with a hit and later scored. He went around, according to Mark Carlson, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Great slide into home plate and 2 excellent catches back to back in center field by John last night.
It's a nice easy 95 there from Newcomb. 24 years of age, big dude, 6'5", 255. He was a first-round pick of the Angels back in 2014, and then November of 2015 was traded to the Braves in the Andrelton Simmons deal. Had a real good curveball.
Another 2-2, and this ball softly lined over Swanson. Good effort by the Braves shortstop, but John Jay helping out the Greater Chicago Food Depository, courtesy Benny's Beverage Depot. Cubs Charities earlier presenting the American Red Cross with a $100,000 donation to help those in need after Hurricane Harvey. Red Cross working to provide safe shelter and comfort for those impacted by Hurricane Harvey. Proceeds from last night's 50-50 raffle. It's a match from Cubs Charities, generous player matching contribution, all donated to the American Red Cross. Good stuff. One strike on Ben Zobrist. He bounces toward third. It's foul.
And Newcomb will get a lot of swings and misses with his curveball. He'll also get ground balls with that pitch. Ben, over the last 10 days, hitting .333, 3 doubles, a couple of home runs.
Center. Inciarte back on it. He's got it on the warning track. Jay was already around second, but he retouched and heads back to first. Boy, on a normal night with the wind not howling in, that's a home run.
Yeah,
knocked down.
That play was a really good play and probably even better than it looked. This is a tough ball to track for a center fielder. Hit directly over his head, so you don't really have an angle. He just turned around and immediately started sprinting towards the center field wall. He was very shallow to begin with. Took one more peek to find the ball and then continued on. He's a tremendous outfielder.
Yeah, won a Gold Glove last year. And here's Chris Bryant. I thought a good read by Jon Jay, who thought that ball was not going to be caught, and he would have scored had it landed on the warning track. And he had plenty of time to get back to first.
Yeah, and some would argue, well, he should have tagged and got into the scoring position, but you got to give yourself a chance to score.
That's a fair ball, and fan interference. It'll be a double for Bryant, and Jay will have to anchor at third.
Chris Bryant constantly on base here lately, and the fan cost him an RBI because I think Jay scores on this ball. Oh, jumped up into the stands anyway.
Yes, it would have been out of play.
Yeah, it was out of play either way. I want to indict the fan down there. Sensitive issue.
So Rizzo with another big RBI chance. He's knocked in 96 on the year, and the Braves will play their infield back. They'll shift for the pull side as well, and the pitch is inside for ball one.
So soft single, deep drive for an out, and then a bullet off the bat of Bryant, and Newcomb in early trouble here. Cubs hit a couple of home runs off of him in his start against them back in Atlanta.
It's a strike. Rizzo in the Pirates series went 6 for 10 with 4 doubles and a home run. We saw the numbers with runners in scoring position, and it can't be coincidental, right? The 2-strike approach, the ability to shorten up. The lack of strikeouts.
Yeah, obviously when you emphasize putting the ball in play, you've got a better chance of something good happening, even if you don't square it up.
And the thing about Rizzo, and we know how much raw power he has, is that he has not sacrificed slugging. He's slugging .541. He's got 31 home runs. And he'll take his shots every now and again as he'll pick up RBI number 97 and a ground out to Albies as Jay scores, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Yeah, again, to emphasize putting the ball in play. Stays back on the curveball. It chokes up on the bat. First blood drawn.
Bryant now at third, 2 outs. Here's Almora. Batting .372 over his last 19 games, and he looks at ball one. The Cubs are averaging 6.61 runs per game this month. Highest average in any calendar month with at least 15 games since July of 1935, when they averaged almost 7. Almost badly, and Suzuki just saved a run.
They've had some huge performances here lately. The 17 runs last night, 17 in Philadelphia. They went double digits twice against the Reds on the homestand, and then again in Cincinnati. Almora
takes the walk. One of those guys who homered off Newcomb in Atlanta will step in. Javier Baez, who went 3 for 3 against the lefty on July 18th. Two hits, 2 RBIs, 2 steals last night, including that crazy steal of home. Brian Snitker, Illinois native. Braves have had kind of a strange year. Off to a slow start and then got back to 500 on July 16th. Since that date, they have the worst record in the National League, 14-27. Fouled to the net. Time now for our AARP. Getting to know Javier Baez. Chris Stewart, Pirates catcher, with the quote last night regarding the steal of home. He's just one of those wild cards. He does things you don't expect. Catches you off guard. He caught me off guard. Baez admitted that it was a mistake. Now, he certainly made up for it by scoring, but he said I was a little too aggressive.
Well, yeah, and then the ability to react in that perilous situation, though, he was so quick in his thinking. I think most guys, if they drifted too far off and got caught, they would have just locked up. He did a little stutter step and took off. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I also wouldn't be stunned if there wasn't some intent in his approach.
That's a base hit. Here comes Bryant, and it's 2-0. Javier Baez with a 2-out run scoring single.
Good to put a little pressure on the young guy early. First career start here at Wrigley Field. No doubt a little amped up. Pressure busts the pipe.
Chuck Hernandez, veteran pitching coach, out to talk it over with his rookie lefty. Ian Happ lurking down in the 7-hole tonight. Last night became the 6th Cub this season to hit his 20th homer. That's a new record, major league record. 5 Cubs 25 or younger have hit 20, and he's the fastest to 20 in franchise history. Game number 89.
That mark had been held by Kyle Schwarber, who, by the way, hit 2 home runs last night.
Schwarber hit his first 20 in 97 games. One strike on Happ. Make it 0-2. Called strike 3, first punch out for Newcomb, but the Cubs grab the early lead, 2-0 after an inning. And Chicago is presented by State Farm. A little October crispness to the breeze off the lake here on the final day of August.
Makes you want a little cup of hot apple cider.
Nick Markakis, the right fielder, recently notched his 2000th major league hit and backed off the plate. Ball 1.
I've been featuring that cut fastball a lot lately. That one sailed on him a little bit.
30 doubles for Markakis. Puts him in the top 10 in the National League.
Yeah, he did.
Could not hold up. 1-2. It was August 4th when he got his 2000th hit. Brandon Phillips reached that milestone yesterday in Philadelphia. Boy, the Braves have all kinds of trouble with the Phillies. I think they still have 3 games left in their season series. Even after their sweep yesterday, they're 4-12 against the Phillies this season. Full count on Markakis. Ground ball just off the glove of Hendricks, and it'll trickle into center field for their first hit.
Now Markakis stayed back on the changeup. If the Braves were watching video of Kyle's last start, if they're paying attention, they're going to be really locked in on the changeup. He actually pulled off it a little bit, but kept the hands back long enough where he could get the barrel on that ball. He threw his changeup more than 40% of the time in that start against the Phillies. Got a ton of swings and misses on it.
Kurt Suzuki making his 54th start back at the plate. Mentioned Tyler Flowers just went on the DL with a left wrist bruise. And the Hawaii native takes a high strike.
I lost in all the offensive highlights last night. Jose Quintana was really good. His best start in a Cub uniform since his debut with them against Baltimore right after the trade.
Ground ball to third. They'll try to turn it around the horn, and they will. Close at first, but they doubled up Suzuki 5-4-3.
And not a lot of pace on this ground ball, so Bryant has to hurry, and then under pressure, Zobrist able to make the turn. Get a strong throw off. They get him by a wee bit, but they got him.
Good to see Chris Bosio, the Cubs pitching coach, back with the club. Missed the Pirates series back home in Northern California after his father Lou passed away. And the news regarding the Cubs rotation: John Lester will come off the DL on Saturday afternoon against the Braves. Mike Montgomery will pitch on Sunday, so at least for one turn through, the Cubs will use a 6-man rotation. They're right in the middle of a 20-day stretch without an off day. 1-1 on Jace Peterson. Just missed the outside corner.
Be wary of the late insert into the lineup.
You have anecdotal proof?
No.
Yeah, we've talked about this
It
before.
seems to happen a lot. The guy who wasn't supposed to be in there, somebody gets hurt, or in this case, a potential trade. Hey, you're in there, and he ends up having a big night.
Well, he's on base here with 2 outs. Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, who lost his everyday job in July, got sent back to AAA late that month, returned in early August though, and Johan Camargo went to the DL after suffering a freak knee injury, and Swanson's been terrific since coming back.
He has so much talent, you know, it was just a matter of time. 385 over his last 17 ball games.
So the Camargo injury, he was taking the field. And he hurt his knee right there. The trip.
Oh, the line, tripped on the line.
Yep. I would say something about superstitions, but I want to be respectful.
It's one of the craziest I've ever seen.
So do you think Johan will continue to try to jump over the chalk line? He said he's done that pretty much his whole career.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll probably have to ease his way back into it. When he first comes back, he'll step gingerly over the chalk line, and then as confidence grows.
1-0 on the Braves 8-hitter. Pitcher Newcomb is on deck. Cubs lead 2-0 early. That's a strike. And it's 1-1. I think I mentioned this before. I had talked to Chris Bosio about visits to the mound, and he actually charts pitches thrown right after a mound visit. It sounds really specific, but he wants to make sure there are no particular patterns other teams can pick up on. Good visit, Chris. 2-0 Cubs in the second.
Welcome back here to Wrigley. This is your Miller Lite game report. Cubs up 2-0 here in the second. And for any of you fans who were planning to come out to the Friday, September 7th game against the Milwaukee Brewers here at Wrigley Field, make sure you make note on your calendar that the game time has changed from 1:20 to 7:05. A big deal for a number of reasons. That's the first ever regular season Friday night game that the team has ever hosted here at Wrigley. It also is a big deal because it accommodates the team's schedule, having played a Thursday night game. They will in Pittsburgh. And there you saw what Mayor Rahm Emanuel had to say. Because this had to be passed, the city ordinance, there is a ban on playing weekend night games here at Wrigley Field. And the mayor wanting to make sure that these guys bring another World Series championship back here. I know, guys, Joe Madden says he wishes this were in place on a weekly basis. And interestingly, the Brewers not real happy about this. They vigorously objected this time change. So kind of intriguing that that's how Milwaukee feels about the time change.
Yeah, the Cubs are kind of the one team in baseball that have been restricted in terms of night games, as Rivera took a called third and not happy with C.B. Buckner's call. But, I'm going to take it in another direction, J.D.
All righty.
And that is getaway days. The Cubs made the change because they're playing a night game in Pittsburgh the night before. And a lot of teams do it, and sometimes it's based on television, the Sunday night game of the week. I think baseball should get to the point where all getaway days should be afternoon days.
I think there's going to be an increase in that in the next year's schedule. I think that's part of the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, that's the right thing.
Getaway days. The idea that the Brewers would oppose this is absurd, and I would imagine they feel pretty sheepish about issuing any kind of a public gripe about it, because it does not impact them in any way negatively. It's not like it changes their travel. So there's no serious grievance or gripe to be had on the part of the Brewers. It's just silliness. It's one thing if you change a game from a day game to a night game and they have to travel that night, they would have a legitimate point.
Right.
But here they do not.
So Friday, September 8th. That is a 7:05 first pitch. Mark it in on your calendar as John Jay takes ball one. 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Newcomb after the Baez RBI single. I think the Brewers are also they're kind of looking, I think, to criticize the Cubs a little bit, and whatever, it maybe intensifies the rivalry, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when you have a legitimate point, but
no, this is not one of those times.
Yeah, there's nothing there at all.
And howling in, Cubs lead 2-0 as Jay lines one foul out of play.
And I know when I roll over Friday morning and get up and have my second cup of coffee, I'm going to say, hey, thank you, Mayor.
Brewers hosting the Nationals tonight. Ground ball and through. Jay 2 for 2.
Wielding that magic wand tonight, soft little flare beyond the reach of Swanson first time, and now another curveball, and it's, I believe, right through the 5-hole here. The pitcher, yeah, right between the legs of Newcomb.
Swept the Braves in Atlanta. And a perfect 6-0 trip to kickstart the second half.
Yeah, they really shut them down. Braves only scored 6 runs in the 3-game series. Cubs starting pitching on a very nice roll in the second half of the season. It's been really good this week. Arrieta, Montgomery, Quintana last night. Newcomb from Massachusetts. He played his college ball at the University of Hartford.
Swing and a miss. All 3 outs, strikeouts. Cubs lead 2-0 after 2.
A collision of comedy, theater, rock, concert, and dance party, all rolled into one like a big cabbage roll. Catch our boys in blue at the Briar Street Theater. Call 800-BLUE-MAN or visit blueman.com. Check it out. That is beautiful.
Good look for us.
Absolutely.
2-0 Cubs, 3rd inning. The pitcher Newcomb looks at ball 1.
Ooh. CB. Sean Newcomb, that's not Joey Votto.
Ball 2. Hendricks has walked 3 here early.
Yeah, and I think that's what the mound visit from Bosio came at a kind of a strange time, and I think he just maybe saw something mechanically or wanted to put a thought in Kyle's head. So Kyle out there last inning in between pitches, rehearsing his delivery a little bit. Just a little bit out of sync.
We'll field this ground ball. Other hand to Rizzo for the out. To the top. Inciarte. Sizzling hot doubleheader yesterday with those 8 hits combined. 5 for 5 in the opener. 8 for 10 overall. First Brave with 8 hits and a doubleheader since Eddie Matthews went 8 for 9 against the Cubs back in 1954. That's when they were the Milwaukee Braves.
You see the lower body so quiet, just throwing the barrel at the ball. That's his game plan. 366 batting average in the month of August. 8 hits in a doubleheader, 1 shy of the major league record, and held by a number of guys.
Drives one to the pull side, and Happ got all turned around, and Inciarte will pull into second with a double.
He lined out in that direction last time, and Ian just got turned the wrong way. It was well hit, a play that should have been made.
He's got 173 hits this year. He's on a pace for 213. And will become the first Brave to have a 200-hit season since Marquise Grissom in 1996. It's been a while. Albies fouls. So this is a team, you know, in transition, right? They've got some veteran guys in their lineup tonight who may or may not, and probably most likely won't be a part of this nucleus in 2 or 3 years. But you look at the guys in the middle, and I think the goal is the Braves organization hopes that Albies and Swanson are there for a long time to come, right?
Yeah, 2 guys that are considered among the best prospects in all of baseball. Albies is currently the youngest player in Major League Baseball. He's only 20. Swanson's, what, 21, 22 himself. So they're dreaming on these 2 youngsters, holding down the middle of the diamond for years and years.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the changeup. Albies, it kind of sums up your academic career, doesn't it?
What's that?
Albies.
Oh. I can only wish.
Well, they got another kid who just didn't quite make it. His last name was all F's.
I had fate working against him from day one.
Yeah, flamed out in low A ball.
Mr. Blutarski, 0.0.
Strike on Freeman. Ground ball back to Hendricks. That'll get him out of the inning. So the misplay by Happ does not cost Kyle. It's still 2-0 in the 3rd.
And a bump in the standings as they head back to Montreal to take on the Impact. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chicago Fire pregame on CSN+.
Bryant with a first inning double and a run. And a strike on him this time. He's acting like he wants to hit 300 this season. He's at 294 currently. And it's funny, as much as we talk about on base percentage trumping batting average, which it does, it should, and his on base coming into tonight at 410. There's still something magical about being a 300 hitter.
Well, it's so ingrained in the history of the sport. It's going to take a while to uningrain it. You know, guys talk about a 3. Nobody talks about, you know, I want to be a 350 on base guy. Or no, we haven't established a kind of a magic number. You know, for years it was bat 300, hit 30 home runs, drive in 100. Those were all magic numbers for a player in a season.
Well, our buddy Jesse Rogers did a piece where he sat down with Joe Madden working on his lineups and kind of the special sauce the Cubs used to figure out matchups and the like. They kind of base it on batting average, right? So for Joe, when he looks at something and it says 300,
yeah, they do the
convert
math
it into that because that's
yeah.
what you're used to seeing as a baseball guy. So
basically, whatever the formula they use, if a guy comes out to 300 or better, then it's a good matchup, and if it's less, then it's not as good of a matchup. I think we got something in the coffee. Clouds, perhaps.
Hitters count here as Rizzo takes ball 3.
Well, if the 2-strike approach is to choke up and be quiet and use the hands, the 3-0 approach is down on the knob, big load, big swing. And we saw the leg kick. He was ready to turn it loose, and pretty good pitch. But CB didn't like it.
Second walk issued by Newcomb.
Hey, Cub fans, start your Labor Day weekend right here at Wrigley Field. Hey, this is Labor Day weekend. Tickets are still available for this series with the Braves, especially tomorrow afternoon's matchup. Visit Cubs.com to secure your tickets today. Jump on them. Come on out. Should be fun.
Mora walked into first. Takes a look at ball 1.
Something on Twitter today or online. Today is You know, there's like national something. Every day is national something. Today's National Eat Outside Day.
Okay.
So the ballpark would be a perfect venue for that.
Did we not? What was our national day? National Red Pants Day? And we had another one earlier this year.
Invented a couple of those over the years.
What it was.
I always look forward to national talk like or international talk like a pirate day.
Rizzo at first, 1 out. Cubs got 2 in the opening inning. And Rizzo caught out to sea, but able to get back in time.
Some frantic rowing. Had a notion, and
so why did he stop?
I think he just realized he didn't get a good jump and said, "This isn't going to work."
Well, he made the right call. He got back in time as Almora went around. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Albert. I mentioned the University of Hartford. Sean Newcomb, the highest draft pick ever in that college, 15th overall in the first round by the Angels.
That's where Jeff Bagwell played his college ball. Jeff was a 4th or 5th round pick, maybe. Don't have many players that have gone on to play Major League Baseball.
Pause at the set. And Almora will foul out of play. Hometown is Middleborough, Massachusetts.
I bet you they turn out a lot of really good insurance salesmen there.
So. Any sports teams, local teams, high schools there, the Hartford Premiums.
The adjusters. The University of Hartford are the Hawks.
The Hawks?
The Hawks.
Another 2-2 missed outside. Full count on Almora with Baez on deck. Rizzo not running, and a ground ball to right. Albies with a good effort, couldn't get it on the dive.
They go again. Second reach for Almora. They're playing for the double play, so he's got a little room to work with on the right side. It's a good pitch. It's a changeup. Stayed up a little bit. Valiant effort by Albies, but to no avail.
Knocked in the Cubs' second run in the first inning. And a 2-out single. Takes a fastball for a strike. The Dodgers got swept in a series for the first time this year at Arizona. 8-1 Diamondbacks. Zach Greinke got his major league leading 16th win. Dodgers have dropped to 50 games over 500.
Yeah, they've lost 5 in a row.
You know, on the Dodger post-game radio show, there were a lot of fans panicking. That's what fans do when their team loses 5 in a row, even though they're 50 games over 500.
They're going to accuse them of being complacent. Dave Roberts got dumb all of a sudden.
Clayton Kershaw will return to their rotation tomorrow night to face the Padres. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Baez retired, and man, the last 6 outs and strikeouts for Newcomb. The Cubs are celebrating Bud Fridays in the Budweiser bleachers all season long, and tomorrow Budweiser provides a Cubs printed bill cap to up to the first 5,000 early arriving fans 21 and older in the Budweiser bleachers. Get here early. For details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays. That's a strike on Ian Happ.
Suzuki may be out to change signs with a man on second base. See why they like this kid. Fastball at 95, outstanding curveball. He has punched out, well, coming into this start, at 76 strikeouts and 74 innings of work. So good strikeout rate.
Ground ball to third, knocked down Peterson, will pick it up and throw late. Bases loaded. Inning still alive on an error by Peterson. By the way, and it doesn't matter because he's not in the lineup, but Brandon Phillips without an error committed at third as he moved over there at the beginning of August.
Yeah, he's played 25 games there, and it's not so much the misplay, but the lack of urgency in getting after it, I think, what really cost Peterson. I think he thought he had a little more time than he really did. And that's the mindset a lot of times at third base. Ball gets you in a hurry, you knock it down, you still have time, but Happ runs really well.
Ball 1 on Rene Rivera. 3 of the Cubs' 20 hits Wednesday night. Two 2-0 with the bases full.
Sometimes that notion of don't panic can be overstated. Sometimes you need to panic. Pick it up and sling it across the diamond.
I recall a conversation around this time of year that you and I had either last year or the year before, and talking about teams that are kind of on the verge of dropping out of the race. And I think you said it. It's kind of like sometimes you just like to hear a manager say, yeah, we're panicking. We're in panic mode.
Yeah, we're in panic mode.
I'll be honest.
It is now officially time to panic.
We have to win 33 out of 35 games to get in. 3-1. Should be out of the inning, but an error keeping the Cubs alive, and they score a run as a result. And Peterson just lowered his head as that pitch was called ball 4. It's 3-0 on the bases loaded walk.
Yeah, that is a big part of it too, right? Errors obviously hurt, but sometimes you need a pitcher to pitch around an error. And he had the 8-hole hitter up there, and he just did not make a competitive pitch on 3-1. That's a pretty easy pitch for Rivera to lay off of.
Nearing 70 pitches on the night. And here's Hendricks.
Yeah, well, Kyle single and a double. He ripped a double to right center in his last start.
Yeah, both in the 7th inning.
Be ready to swing it right here. It was.
First Cub pitcher to have 2 hits in the same inning since Carlos Zambrano did it in 2003. 0-2 on him.
Suzuki not putting any fingers down. He's just flipping his hands. At fastball. Let's go. So trust your stuff, kid.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. But the Cubs make it 3-0. Chicago's first responders by supporting Kyle Schwarber's inaugural block party event Sunday, September 10th. It will feature premium meats, straight off the flame, delicious appetizers, signature cocktails, and an exclusive live and silent auction. Guests will play lawn games, listen to live music, and hang out alongside Cub players and first responders in attendance. To buy tickets, it's Cubs.com/blockparty. Kyle Hendricks with a 3-0 lead. Braves bat here in the 4th. Matt Kemp struck out in the 1st. Sinker at 85 on the outside for a strike. On the ground to Baez. On the way. Well, the Astros have headed home finally. Beat the Rangers 5-1 in Tampa Bay today. They'll have an off day tomorrow. They'll play a doubleheader against the Mets on Saturday. I'm sure they and their families are thrilled. They're finally back in Houston.
Yeah, that's good news, and the weather has cleared there. It looked like initially, right, the weekend series with the Mets was going to be played in Tampa, but obviously they were able to make an adjustment and get back home.
There's a 1-0 to Markakis. Look at 1-1. Adrian Beltre sprained his left hamstring today. I guess he'll have an MRI tomorrow. Addison Russell had an MRI in his foot as he had his rehab assignment cut short. We have not heard the results of that. Three and two.
3-2 changeup last time. Markakis ground ball up the middle for a base hit.
Rizzo can't get it. Markakis is 2 for 2.
Again, it's on a changeup. Appeared to be out in front of it a little bit, but good work with the legs to stay through the zone with the hands and deliver the line drive to right.
Suzuki's former teams won on a bases loaded hit by pitch today. Max Kepler got plunked with the bases loaded. Twins beat the White Sox 5-4 in Minneapolis. won 4 in a row. Big swing and a miss. The last Twin to get hit by a pitch to end the game was Paul Molitor in 1996. He's the current Twins manager. They won 20 games in August.
They have the second wild card spot right now, do they not? The Yankees, and then I believe the Twins.
They do.
It is a wild, beautiful mess over there, though, in the wild card race in the American League.
Swing and a miss. Suzuki is out. Markakis holding at first.
So Yankees half game better than the Twins for the top wild card spot, and then Angels, who just picked up Justin Upton today in a trade with the Tigers. Baltimore, Tampa still very much in play.
Not listed Seattle and Kansas City starting today, 4 games back. Curve is outside on Peterson, who committed the error leading to the Cubs' 3rd run. A loud noise, got the shin guard of the home plate umpire, and looks like C.B. Buckner is going to have to do a little work to get it back in place. Cubs have won 6 in a row here at Wrigley Field. Overall, 29-15 since the All-Star break. They've won 12 of the last 15 they've played against the Braves going back to mid-2015. Foul.
Despite playing the doubleheader yesterday, the Braves pitching in pretty good shape in terms of their bullpen. R.A. Dickey pitched one of the games with a doubleheader, and he pitched 8 innings. You like to have that knuckleballer on your staff to eat up innings like that, and they were quality innings.
And he's going to come back on short rest and start on Sunday.
They've got plenty of options. They're carrying an 8-man bullpen.
Watching Rivera. You know what that was? That was a Jace pitch.
A Jace pitch?
Instead of a Chase pitch. Jace Peterson. I have to explain it. It doesn't work. 3-0.
Insider at CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffbook.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side.
Cubs lead this ball game 3-0. John Jay 2 for 2 against the lefty Newcomb, who fires a strike down the middle. Cool night. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s with a late breeze. Rosters will expand tomorrow. Jay 3 for 3.
John Jay is among the league leaders in line drive percentage, and line drive is going to lead to high batting average. He doesn't hit it into the seats very often, just a couple of home runs. This is his approach. Short and sweet, use the whole field. A lot of times you see him shooting that ball to left. Times straightaway center. 3 times tonight for Jay.
Zobrist lays down a nice bunt. Suzuki will throw him out. Freeman dug it out of the dirt. I assume he was given a sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. Rosie gave him a sacrifice. That's the right call. He wanted more, but one of those deals where best case scenario, you get a knock, and if you get the bunt down, at least you get him over. Stay out of the double play. Zoe has not had a lot of luck from the right side of the plate this year. Although he did hit that deep drive first time up tonight.
Bryant with Jay at second. Ground ball. Freeman will backhand, and he'll take it to the bag for the out. I want to mention tomorrow through Sunday, Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins will sign autographs at the new Western Gate by the park at Wrigley to help raise money for the Ron Santo Diabetic Alert Dog Foundation. Fergie and other legends will sign each day through the 7th inning. So make plans to visit them. Ron Santo's foundation helps provide specially trained alert dogs for children with diabetes and their families. For more information, it's ronsantofoundation.com. Runner at third, 2 gone. Anthony Rizzo, the batter. Here's the pitch. A little bit away for ball 1. Reds beat New York 7-2 in Cincinnati today. Scooter Gennett homered, knocked in 3. Joey Votto hit a home run in the 7th inning, and afterwards he gave a bat and a jersey to a 6-year-old fan he met last week through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Pretty cool.
Like during the game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Young Walter Herbert. Cold foul.
Good hands down there. Tough hop.
Got the luge set up now.
Going. 2-man luge going. Lean on that guy with the glove.
Inciarte will make the catch. Got a great jump on it. That's why he won a Gold Glove last year as he robs Rizzo of extra bases. 3-0 Cubs after 4.
Great 2016 World Series ring donated by Jostens. Proceeds benefiting Cubs charities. Now through September 4th, Cub fans can purchase raffle tickets for $10 each. Tickets can be purchased online and at official raffle locations around Chicago. Visit Cubs.com/ring raffle for details. September 4th. Act now.
Swanson, Newcomb, and Inciarte against Hendricks here in the 5th. Curveball inside. They came prepared.
He gets the Arbor Bush Lookalike Award.
Roller to Zobrist, and he dropped it.
Oh, no.
That'll be an error on Ben. That was weird.
Yeah, maybe
did he not know he didn't have it at first? It was kind of a late reaction.
Just off the heel of his glove and squirted through his legs. And just the second error he has committed this year, the first one since the third game of the season.
Bunted by Newcomb. Picked up by Bryant. And he'll get it to Zobrist. A sacrifice for the pitcher.
Ben out there still walking around shaking his head. Can't believe he misplayed that one. What happened there?
Oh no, I think you know what I think happened? I think CB got something in his eye, because the flinch, it looked like he was going to call it a strike, but I think what happened was when the ball hit the mitt of Rivera, something popped out and got both guys.
Both guys are,
Yeah. Weird. I've never ever seen that. Have you?
No, no.
Ground ball not hit very hard, but another chance for Zobrist, and he'll get a hustling Inciarte. Swanson now at third, 2 outs. We'll bring up Albies, the switch hitting second baseman who has walked, been picked off, and has struck out. Hendricks' last start, he picked up his first win since late May. There's a base hit, and the Braves get on the board. That is an unearned tally. It's 3-1.
Fourth hit of the night for the Braves. It comes on a changeup. Albies stays on it long enough to deliver the solid single right off the glove of Hendricks, or maybe just beneath the glove of Hendricks.
Speaking of Albies, I got a funny tweet earlier. It said maybe I should have dropped an Alcides on you for your academic career. Escobar, would that have been more appropriate? Line drive and caught by Almora.
Nothing but A's there.
All A's.
All A's for Albert Almora.
So the Cubs give up the unearned run, but good defense to end the frame. Great catch to end the top of the inning. Will lead off the home half. And Almora sends one high in the air out into right center. Who wants it? Markakis fell down and still caught the ball.
Wow. Wow.
He's lucky he didn't blow out a knee.
Yeah, well, he's trying to set his feet there in a very windy night. A great concentration. Speaking of, spectacular play by Almora at the top half of the inning.
StatCast powered by AWS.
The center field play we've seen the last couple of nights with Jay last night and Almora and Inciarte here tonight.
Wide for ball one to Javi Baez. A cut and a miss. 1-1 on the Cubs shortstop. On deck, 1-2, rolled foul. Come out and show your team pride. Tuesday, September 12th, the Cubs welcome students, alumni, and fans of the Big Ten. Fans who buy tickets through the Community Nights page will get a special edition Cubs baseball cap in your favorite Big Ten school's colors. Cubs.com/Community Nights. Purchase tickets. Two gone now. Ian Happ.
87 pitches now for the rookie left-hander. How much more they get out of him. And Ryan Snitker would love to get him through the 6th. Gets Happ here, he'll have 8-9-1 due up next inning, so he'd be in pretty good shape to do that. He's used 9 different starting pitchers this year. They had Bartolo Colon for a time. Colon made 13 starts for them, had an ERA above 8. He's now pitching for the Twins. Pitched today, as a matter of fact.
Better with Minnesota, ERA around 4. Deep breath by the southpaw. Here's his 2-1. 2-2 on Happ. Brewers lead the Nationals 3-2. They're in the 5th inning at Miller Park.
Good lid.
Got all the colors of the Big Ten in one cap. I think, does any Big Ten team have green as their main color?
Michigan State.
Michigan State, of course. Spartans. Totally overlooked my sister's alma mater. And smacked into center. Changeup.
Yeah. This doesn't have that one, that good fading action. Top speed. Stayed up a little bit. Not a horrible pitch. But of his secondary pitches, that's been the least effective. Situation where you might be looking to run tougher with the lefty out there. Chat. I was thinking with the Bartolo Colon made his big league debut in 1997. This Albies kid who's playing second base for them was born in 1997.
Right around when you started your broadcasting career.
It was indeed. At the start of the year, they had Cologne, 44 years of age, R.A. Dickey, 42. So it's that, again, as you referenced earlier, that blend of veteran guys that have been around a long time that can help tutor the youngsters as they're in this rebuild. Just moved into a new ballpark this season.
Strikes on Rivera. Line shot, base hit. Rene Rivera the last 2 nights has done some fine work with the bat. Bases loaded walk and a single tonight. 3 hits last night.
He's a guy who throughout his big league career has not hit for much average, occasional power. That's been the story this year as well, but 3 knocks last night. This solid approach here. He likes to hit the ball the other way.
Midwest League affiliate, the South Bend Cubs, announced they will contribute $5,000 to minor league baseball's efforts to raise money after Hurricane Harvey. So a lot of people pitching in. J.J. Watt, did he go on a campaign and raise like $10 million?
Yeah, he kept up. He was trying to raise $1 million. Then we're going for 2, then 4. Then he just kept upping it, and people jumping on board. He got lucky. I don't know what he was thinking.
Was looking around for a place to throw the ball and then realized I can get the pitcher at first.
Must have forgot the rules there momentarily.
Welcome back here to Wrigley Field. We were just talking about the Big Ten a little bit, and yes, college football season is underway. A bunch of the Cubs checking in on some of the games. We were just looking for Kyle Schwarber in the dugout, but we can't find him, and I'm guessing that's because he might have gone in to check out the Hoosiers score, leading 14-13, mind you, over Ohio State. Kyle joked around this afternoon saying he was running around yelling, "Go IU," and all his teammates calling him a maniac. But guys, I put him on the spot and said, so do you think IU is going to win this game tonight? And he said, I'm really not sure. Kevin Wilson, the former IU coach, now the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. So I'm a little torn in this game, but I don't think my Hoosiers are going to pull it out. But guys, who knows? Maybe they will. We'll wait and see.
We will find out. That's the great thing about sports. You never know.
I didn't know they were playing.
I don't even know.
About never knowing
what the line was. I don't look at those kinds of things. The Buckeyes favored by like multiple touchdowns.
I don't know, because I get the sense there seemed to be some drama in the build-up to this game. So I'm thinking it may be closer than you would normally expect an Ohio State-Indiana game to be. Kyle Schwarber, Ohio State expressed some interest in Kyle as a football player coming out of high school. There's Jason Mott, who's stepping off a little 5-yard infraction right there, as a matter of fact.
6 foot and step off. 1 and 2.
A big, strong guy, but he hits the ball on the ground a lot. Better when he stays through, as he did there. leads the league in grounding into double plays. He was recruited to play basketball at the University of Oklahoma back when he was a youngin', back in his salad days.
Called a just foul. I want to wish a happy birthday to the Bob father. A vendor here at Wrigley Field for over 30 years, I guess, celebrating a birthday today.
Happy birthday, Bob father.
Told the Ohio State was favored by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, okay. So not a whole lot has changed
Just 20
in
and
that
a half.
relationship.
One and 2 on Kemp. The pitch. There's a ball on the ground, as you mentioned earlier. We'll throw him out. One away here in the Braves 6th. Kemp 0 for 3.
Welcome to the Cubs family, world champion babies. Hey, there's a world champion quality baby right there. The Newborn Fan Club is the perfect gift for parents of young Cubs. Receive a custom birth announcement on the Wrigley Field marquee, personalized Cubs birth certificate, new pinstripe baby beanie, and Cubs Rookie of the Year onesie. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more information. Baby came all the way from California. It's a lot of crawling.
Boy, my arm's tired. Markakis 2 for 2. Both hits have been singles.
Baby went from the coffee table to the recliner, all the way from California to here.
Curve at 73 is a called strike. Kyle's from Southern California. Pitched collegiately at Dartmouth.
It's interesting. He's gone full with Markakis in his 2 previous at-bats. He threw change-ups both times, and Markakis delivered base hits on both occasions. See if that changes his strategy here. Yeah, they're going to go elevated fastball here. I don't recall seeing any curveballs from Kyle tonight. Fastballs, change-ups, cutting both the changeup and the fastball. I'm sure he's mixed in a couple along the way, but I don't remember them.
Yeah, I threw one to start this at bat. He's thrown a couple early in the counts.
I was reading about babies. I didn't see it. Normally what he does, second or third time through the order, he'll start to flip that slow curveball over on 0-0. Not only calling for that high fastball, but trying to sell it. And Hendricks he said, I'm going to go back to that changeup. Third time's a charm.
3-1 on the ground out. And that will bring up Suzuki.
Speaks to a level of conviction and confidence that he has in his changeup. I don't care if I've given up a couple knocks on it. He felt like if he made a good one, he'd get his man, and he did.
Suzuki grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the second. He struck out in the fourth. And looks at a strike. Not real happy with that call.
No. And you can see why.
Going to stay out there. He didn't get that one. Okay.
Well, even Steven.
One hop. Baez backs up on it. Lots of time and fires a strike to Rizzo. Bottom of the 6th. Cubs 3. Braves 1. Gigot time moment. It is powered by Xfinity. John Jay playing leadoff man here tonight against a lefty, and he's got 3 hits.
Well, the leading man has delivered. He's been good against lefties all year. He's been good against lefties in his career.
He's going to face a righty now, and a former teammate in St. Louis and a former Cub, Jason Mott. Good to see Jason back here at Wrigley Field.
Long and winding road of his baseball career now brings him to Atlanta, where he has pitched 40 times. 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA.
A frenetic Jason Mott.
Toss the ball. Scratch the beard. There you go. Flip, flip. A lot of cutters.
The Yukon Cornelius beard working. Pitch count got Newcomb. 101 pitches made in his 5 innings.
Yeah, those 2 hits after 2 outs last inning pretty much shut him down. Had he gotten Happ to finish the inning, he would have had Rivera Hendricks do up this inning and probably would have gotten a chance to go back out. Got up to 100 pitches, lineup turned over. A guy who has already had 3 hits against him would have been leading off the inning. So for all those reasons, Brian Snitker said, you know what? Give me Yukon Cornelius.
Will have to cover. He gets it from Freeman.
MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Cubs baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Cubs home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, the StatCast, news, and more, even more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Got a lot of nerve changing that read this late in the year. Big words like customizable in there. Wow. Jason's fired up about something.
I'm happy with the release. First pitch.
Quick arm action that he features.
He just tapped the back of his hat with the rosin bat.
Yeah, that's what's that? A little rosin up there for future use.
Well, we do television, but he'd be a fun guy to describe on radio, right? Grabs a bill of his cap, grabs the ball,
try to paint
cap
the picture,
again, adjust the sleeve, flip the ball, grab the bill, get the sign.
Tap and go.
Good dude, Jason Mott.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him when he was here. Big leaguer since 2008 with the Cardinals. With them through the 2014 season. Had some injury issues along the way. Last year he was a Rocky.
Zobrist draws the walk. And it'll bring up Chris Bryant. Former catcher. And he'll face Chris Bryant. With a man on, 1 out.
Way on the far third base side of that rubber. And his heel just catching the extreme far edge. He's barely legal.
Also, when he gets set, it looks like he's pitching in the dugout.
Yeah,
in terms of where he's set up.
Closes off that front side. That's got to be a little disconcerting if you're a hitter. You want to step out and go, hey, I'm over here.
Launches deep to left, Kemp's back on it, and it is gone. 5-1. Number 25 for Chris.
Well, Wind fought it a little bit, but too much barrel on that one to keep it in the yard. We've been on base so much lately. A lot of hits, a lot of walks, not a whole lot in the power department. That's letter high fastball, and he got to it. A good piece of two-strike hitting.
A little more breathing room. 4-run lead here in the 6th inning.
Second hit for Chris tonight. Second extra base hit. He doubled back in the first.
One and one to Rizzo. Sends one high and deep in Ciarte to the warning track, and it just died out there. Almost overran it. Two away.
Yeah, that ball had a little slice spin and then got up in the wind, and that knocked it down. Many nights this ball is going to fly out of here as well. That's a pretty swing.
Morrow with 2 outs, nobody on. Strike nabbed the inside corner.
Well, they say Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer. So it looks like it when you get to shot those folks in the stands bundled up.
See, I'm a strange bird, but I don't mind it that much. On the cool side tonight, feels good.
Yeah, it does.
Markakis grabs it, and that will end the inning. Chris Bryant got the fans on their feet with a 2-run homer, and the Cubs lead this one 5-1. Seventh inning this evening. Facing Jace Peterson. Left-handed hitting third baseman takes ball 1. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Braves. That'll be Peterson, Swanson, and a pinch hitter for Mott. Looks like Matt Adams, or maybe Lane Adams. Will be that hitter.
They've got a couple Adams. They've got a couple Freemans.
Three and one. Kyle walked 3 in the first 2 innings. But then they settled in nicely. Chopper to the first baseman, Rizzo. Flip to Hendricks for the out. Tomorrow night, catch an all-new episode of High School Lights, presented by Wintrust. Enjoy all the thrilling highlights, matchups, and post-game interviews tomorrow at 11 p.m. on CSN, or live stream at csnchicago.com/watch-live. There's Swanson with the aforementioned Lane Adams on deck.
Swanson, the #1 overall pick in the country a couple of years ago out of Vanderbilt. By the Diamondbacks and traded in the Shelby Miller deal to the Braves.
Yeah, you don't often see a draft pick taken that high, traded so soon after he was drafted.
And then Miller went on to have a disastrous year. Was pitching pretty well early this year, then got hurt and done for the season. A deal that was widely panned at the time and since from the Diamondbacks' point of view. I would just make it a matter of principle that if I had a guy in my organization named Dansby Swanson, that I would never trade him.
Carl Edwards Jr. along with Brian Dunsing. 2-2. And is there another guy out there named Swansby Dancing? Chased one and he strikes out. The pitch was in the dirt, but Swanson did not make a move toward first, so he's out.
Yeah, a little two-strike anxiety, went way out of the zone with the chase changeup.
Here's Lane Adams, who spent a little time at AAA Iowa last year in the Cubs system.
Went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs in his last start. It was a 2-run home run from the natural Rhys Hoskins for the Phillies. After that, 6 shutout. Here in the 7th, he's allowed 1. It's unearned.
Strike.
Fun to watch Rivera back there. He's very invested in his pitcher. We noted it throughout the ball game last night with Quintana. Really works hard back there. Gives his pitcher a lot of feedback, a lot of direction.
Adams actually played 22 games with Tennessee last season, 7 with Iowa. Three and 2 on him. Inciarte on deck. Here's the pitch. Yanked to deep left, and it is gone. A home run. Lane Adams drills one out of here, and it's now 5-2.
Yeah, Braves have been really good off the bench. Their pinch hitters and outstanding, just in terms of hits and home runs. This is what you might expect more out of Matt Adams than Lane Adams, who's a real speed guy, but that time the changeup stayed up. Belt high, didn't have that good action, and Kyle paid the price for it.
Big hand for Hendricks. He'll exit with a 3-run lead, and we'll be right back. It's a So Weber sauces and seasonings call to the pen. Call grilling flavor up to the bigs. Left-hander Brian Dunsing makes his 57th appearance.
Brian last worked on Tuesday. He in a third of an inning. He threw just 2 pitches against the Pirates. And the Cubs 4-1 win. He had a couple days off prior to that, so he's good to go. He's always got to break out the faces. Breaking out his A game right there. You can do that. You always got something for show and tell.
(5-2) ball game here in the 7th. 1-0 pitch in Ciarte. Fouls it off.
6 2/3 for Kyle tonight. 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned. 3 walks. They came early and punched out 5. Bunch of outs on the ground, as is typical with Kyle. Last time out, not so much. Got a lot of pop-ups, lazy fly balls in that start against the Phils. I haven't looked. I assume the Braves are drawing well in their new ballpark. Two schools of thought. One says you're moving in a new ballpark, you should load up, be ready to compete at a high level. And another theory says, well, you're going to have a little bit of a honeymoon in a new stadium. It's a good time to rebuild.
Drawn over 2 million so far, ranking 9th in the National League.
Braves finished last in the East last year. They were 68 and 93, 26.5 games off the pace.
Roller to Zobrist. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Mazda.
Direct your attention to the outfield video boards.
All right. Let me hear you. Good and loud. On 1, on 2, on 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Inning. It is right-hander Dan Winkler.
In relation to Henry?
No, he is from Illinois. He is from Effingham, Illinois. And there's a fastball strike.
Hitler 94 with a heater, a slider, and a changeup.
Pitched at Parkland College in Champaign and the University of Central Florida in Orlando. He's picked by Freeman to get Baez.
Yeah, we got 2 of the best, don't we, in this series? Down there at first base with Freeman and Rizzo. Funny, years ago, you used to think of the first baseman as kind of big, plodding guys, you know, not very nimble. You think about the first baseman in the National League. These two cats, Votto, Goldschmidt, Brandon Belt, they can all pick it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think some of it just speaks to the modern day athlete in general, right?
Yeah.
In other words, generally more athletic than ever before. Two balls and a strike to Ian Happ.
The max effort heater works underneath the ball a little bit, has good hop.
Kendrys Morales has 3 home runs tonight. Blue Jays lead at Baltimore 11-8.
Winkler originally was drafted by the Cubs. 43rd round in 2010 out of Parkland College. Opted to go to UCF instead. Rockies took him in the 20th round 2011 and he signed with the Rocks. Braves got him in the Rule 5 draft 2014.
And strikes out Happ. 2 outs, it'll be Rivera. A strike.
A bunch of hard throwing guys in their bullpen. I mean, it seems kind of lame to say because every big league bullpen does, but looking at the numbers on these guys, and to a man, 95 plus.
Day games the rest of the weekend before we head off to Pittsburgh for Labor Day. Two outside. Tommy La Stella is on deck for Dunsing. Popped him up, foul territory over near the Braves dugout. No play for Freeman. You see the note about La Stella. The Cubs have been doing some extra work these last couple of days getting set for the stretch run, and I guess Tommy was a little too close to home plate during one of the drills, and Joe Madden said, hey Tommy, you maybe move back a few steps. He said a month ago it wouldn't have mattered because you never play. I don't want you to get hurt now. Started 4 games in a row.
It can be a cold business.
Inside, 3-2. just a blanket statement. There it is. So Rivera on for the third consecutive time.
It's an all left-handed bench for the Cubs tonight. Tommy, Avila, Hayward, and Schwarber.
Stella, a former Atlanta Brave. Fastball strike, well located. Yankees lead Boston 6-1, top of the 8th in New York tonight. Red Sox 5.5 up on the Yankees in the American League East going into that big 4-game weekend set. Yankees leading the wild card. They don't have a big margin for error in either race. Trailing in the division and leading in the wild card. And Stella toppled on that foul ball. Ground ball toward the middle, right near the bag at second. It's played by Swanson. And he gets La Stella. We go to the 8th. Cubs 5, Atlanta 2. Now at eclicklending.com. eClick is located right here in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Your mortgage just happened. Former Brave into the game for the Cubs. Jason Hayward. Carl Edwards Jr. will pitch here in the 8th.
Carl on for the 60th time. He's got a 3.38 ERA. It's been trending in the right direction over the last handful of appearances. After going through a bit of a rough patch, he seems to have things back on track. Minuscule batting average against 126.
Hayward perhaps straight up in the batting order. So he'll hit 7th. Ozzie Albies.
First 3 times up, he was dealing with Kyle Hendricks, who was throwing sinkers and changeups, topping out at 87 miles per hour. He's going to get 95 with cutting action and a snapdragon curveball.
Freeman and Kemp to follow. Bryant in on the grass at 3rd. Here's the pitch. 1-1.
Albies called up the beginning of the month from AAA Gwinnett of the International League. At the time of his recall, he was leading the International League in hits and triples. From Curacao. He's had good luck with Andrew Jones, right?
Yeah.
From there.
Two-one from CJ is high. 3 balls and a strike. Andrew Jones, the longest Major League tenure of a player from Curacao. 17-year Major League career. I want to say he was 19 when he made his debut.
Played in the World Series. Remember, he had a couple home runs in one World Series game. I think the first to do it since, or the youngest to do it since Mickey Mantle. Man, could he play center field?
.434 home runs as well. 3-2 on Albies. Here's the pitch. Pulled into right. Nice piece of hitting by the 20-year-old Ozzie Albies. It's a leadoff single.
He's not going to go quietly into the good night. You know, that's a cutter. Boy, that's impressive. It's actually a little bit easier to handle when it's down like that as opposed to up in on the hands.
Freeman a walk, a ground out, and a line out to center.
Is Andrew Jones a Hall of Famer? Has he been on the ballot yet? When did he?
2012 was his last year, so I think
this would be his first year of eligibility coming up.
This would be a big out to get Freeman.
Tuesday at 6, come out and watch Chicago baseball as CSN hosts a Miller Lite viewing party. Join Kelly Crawl at Timeout West Sports Pub in Hanover Park. Watch Cubs battle Pittsburgh and enjoy free giveaways and ice cold Miller Lite.
I think this will be his first year on the ballot. They have similarity scores in terms of offense. The number one comp, similar batter, Dale Murphy. Yeah, I'm guessing Andrew Jones will be Hall of pretty good. Probably just a little shy of the Hall of Fame. But, yeah, I'm pretty liberal on the Hall of Fame stuff. If you're a borderline guy, I have no problem if you get in. I'm not saying I'd put him in. I'm just saying if they put him in, I wouldn't have a huge problem with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by his candidacy. I'd like to hear what the writers have to say.
One to Kemp. Swing and a miss.
Not that this is ever justification for putting a guy in, but I guarantee he's better than a whole lot of guys that are already in there.
Yes. Well, and that's why
the old timers.
You got to be careful with who does get in, because you're right, it does set a precedent down the road. Swing and a miss, strike three for out number two. Albies still at first base, and it'll bring up Markakis.
0-for-4 night for Matt Kemp. He started with a strikeout and likely will end with a strikeout. Part of the narrative when we saw the Braves right after the All-Star break was They had won a bunch of games in the last at bat. Yeah, that's a good pitch.
Now the comp is not a great one. I just looked up just because of the skill sets. Kenny Lofton was a leadoff hitter and a base stealer, but he had a career WAR, wins above replacement, of 68.2, and Andrew Jones 62.8. And I only say that because Kenny Lofton got 3% of the vote and dropped off the ballot in his first year, and I thought criminally so.
Yeah, probably deserved more consideration.
I don't even know if Kenny Lofton is a Hall of Famer, but he's a guy who deserved to be on the ballot more than one season.
Yeah, I think what would get the voters' attention with Andrew Jones was all the home runs.
Yes. Well, and the Gold Gloves.
Yeah. But I mean, as opposed to Kenny, say, Lofton was a speed guy, played a different game than Andrew Jones, and 434 home runs, including a 51 home run season. He's a real attention getter when you consider Andrew Jones' candidacy.
Three and one on Markakis, and he walked him, and that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. Here comes Chris Bosio. The batter is Kurt Suzuki. He's got some pop. Now the wind is in the Cubs' favor right now. It's blowing in. Suzuki with 15 home runs. You can keep it under the wind. You can get it out of here. Now Chris Bryant probably hits one onto Waveland with the wind blowing out. He got his about, what, 5 rows up.
Yeah, I think, Cutter away. It's going to be tough for Suzuki to do anything with that pitch. If he were to hang him a breaking ball, that's where you might run into some trouble. Bryant, by the way, hitting that home run now has 25, becomes just the 12th player in Major League history with 25 or more in his first 3 Major League seasons.
Strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. $38,031 in the ballpark tonight. Here it is. Fouled out of play. I should note, as Edwards started to race after that foul pop-up, reminded me of Travis Wood. He hit a home run yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, against the Giants. First and second, 2 outs, 5-2 Cubs lead, 8th inning. Another 1-2. In the air to left. Jon Jay's got it. Bottom of the 8th. Cubs still lead by 3. Hefty home run. This was hefty. It had to be against a very stiff wind tonight.
Yeah, high heater on 0-2. Very quick, explosive swing of the bat by Chris Bryant for his 25th. Winkler is replaced by Whistler. Whistler is pitching for the 14th time this year, 0-1 with a 6.48 ERA.
Facing Jon Jay, who's 3 out of 4 tonight. 5-2 Cubs, 8th inning. Into the upper deck.
Whistler's mother or Whistler's grandmother? The painter.
What's that?
The painting, the famous painting. Whistler's mother or Whistler's grandmother?
I'm not familiar. Fouled again. Brewers 5, Nationals 3, bottom of the 8th. Cardinals have an early 2-0 lead at San Francisco, second inning.
Whistler pitched the Braves last year mostly as a starter, was 7-13 with an ERA of 5. He made 26 starts. He was working primarily as a starter down at AAA this year. Mother, Whistler's mother, famous painting.
I've heard of Epstein's mother.
Whistler's mother was painted by Whistler. Not surprisingly.
Is it a painting of his mother? Yeah. Kemp will have to go get it, and it gets by him. Jay around second on his way to third. He's got a triple, a 4-hit night for Jon Jay.
Oh, how sweet is that? Just a little flare into shallow left field. Gets down, then gets by Matt Kemp. Slider moving down and in. He just carves it to left field. It's got a whole lot of spin on it. Kemp doesn't read it well, doesn't knock it down, cut it off. Means not 1 but 2 extra bases for the Chief Justice. A leadoff triple.
Infield in against Ben Zobrist.
He'll be looking to swing early.
It's a strike on Zo. 0 for 2. He has laid down a sac bunt, has walked, and has scored. And a base hit to right, so that makes up for the error he made earlier, and it's 6-2.
Well, he's finding the barrel a lot more frequently here lately, and that's a very good thing. Beautiful swing of the bat. Backdoor slide ball, head right on it. Yanks it through that drawn-in infield.
Pitch to Bryant. Called strike. Committed according to C.B. Buckner. Left-hander Justin Wilson up in the Cubs bullpen. Much better here as of late. In his first few outings as a Cub. Side 1-2. Two on the way. Fouled again. Good battle. Bryant stays alive. Cubs trying to get Kyle Hendricks his second consecutive win. Very good again tonight. Markakis will haul it in. Bryant is out.
And for Kyle, there was a stretch there where he was pitching well but was not picking up wins. A lot of no decisions. Run support just wasn't there for them. A couple short starts. Talk so much about the hitters trying to, in the course of a game or an inning, keep the line moving. Well, the line now, conga line for the starting pitchers, this time through the rotation, has been awfully good, and John Lackey will take his turn tomorrow up against Mike Foltynewicz, both with 10-10 records, and very similar ERAs.
Foul by Rizzo. Braves infielders on the right side of second base against Anthony Rizzo. Slide step on the pitch, and that one bounced into the first base dugout. Cubs putting up 6 runs again. What about their average this month? Actually averaging over 6.5 runs per game in August. He scored 17 last night. We're back to Saturday in Philadelphia. 17. Scored 3 on Sunday. 6, 4, 17, and 6.
Threw up 13 and 9 to go along with 17 on the last road trip. They always score a bunch of runs when they play the Reds. Phillies haven't pitched well. This club has not pitched well. Facing some teams you feel like you should score some runs against. Tell you what, though, I like Newcomb. I like that young left-hander. This is our second look at him, and he's better tonight than he was in Atlanta, but stuff-wise, certainly above average. Just a matter of settling in, figuring it out.
Freeman will backhand. They'll get one. Relay late.
Good work by Freeman there, charging that ball, playing it on the short hop. Anthony Bustiga down the line, beats the double play.
Albert Almora Jr. 1 for 3 with a walk. And 5th tonight.
Brewers now lead the Nationals 6-3. They're in the 8th in Milwaukee. Gonzalez gave it up a little bit tonight. 6 innings, 5 runs allowed.
He went into that game with what, a 240 on the year.
Yeah, he's been really good. Beneath the radar with Scherzer and Strasburg over there. Strasburg threw a complete game shutout yesterday. Gio's been lights out. Zach Davies, 7 innings, 2-run ball for the Brewers. He's been awfully good too.
Almora strikes out. Cubs done in the 8th. They do add to their lead. It's 6-2 as we head to the 9th. Denny's Beverage Depot. Kyle Hendricks gets it tonight.
And not just because he picked up a guy. He pitched really well. 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs. 1 was earned. He walked 3, struck out 5. And in typical Hendricks fashion, outstanding changeup and a lot of outs on the ground.
Denny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Here's Justin Wilson.
55th appearance on the season for Wilson, 4-4 with a 286. As Len mentioned, he had been struggling. Lately he's been better, and so that's why you find him here in a little bit more of a high leverage situation. Actually, perfect situation. You got, it's the 9th inning. You got a 4-run cushion.
It is now being reported that the Braves are trading Brandon Phillips to the Angels. Phillips was in the original Braves lineup tonight and scratched less than an hour, I believe, before the first pitch, and then rampant speculation began.
It used to be that the player had to be in with the team in the city by midnight in the day of the trade deadline. That's no longer the case now. The trade just has to be done. Freddie Lynn back in 1988 was traded to the Tigers and didn't get there in time, so he was not eligible for the postseason.
Well, this is how his Braves career finished. It wasn't a long tenure with the Braves, his hometown team, but that was his 2000th hit. It was yesterday, and his mom was there, and he didn't know it. I guess she showed up the night before, and they got rained out. But, Brandon's mom, Lou, was there, and he was tickled that she was there. Very, very cool. So he'll head to the Angels on a 14-game hitting streak.
Angels are going for it, huh? Upton earlier today, Justin Upton. They lost Cameron Maben to the Astros on a waiver claim.
This is a non-save spot for Justin Wilson, who finished 26 games with Detroit, picked up 13 saves before he came to the Cubs. There's 3-2. Called strike 3.
Emphatically. C.B. Buckner with the call, got the inside corner with a good heater. Right cross delivered. Yeah, this is just a great example of how to kind of rehab a relief pitcher. Wilson pitched in a lot of high leverage situations throughout his career. That's what he was doing with Detroit. Got here, new club. You could see maybe a little unsettled, struggled a little bit, had some tough outings in high leverage situations. So they back off the gas a little bit, pitch him in more 6th, 7th inning of a one-sided game. Not too much pressure. Performs well. Now he gets the 9th tonight, with an eye towards going back into a more prominent setup role in front of Wade Davis.
Grounded foul by Swanson. Matt Adams on deck. So he might have a chance to make the final out on his birthday. Matt Adams turning 29 today.
You can only hope.
The process by which Swanson got his number 7 with the Braves, but when you consider the long history of their franchise, you give a young shortstop a number 7, feels like you expect him to be around a while, right? That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Probably wore like 74 his first spring training, although he was a first-round pick of the Diamondbacks, so he might have not had to wear the offensive or defensive lineman number. One and two on the Braves shortstop. 1 out, 9th inning. Cubs lead 6-2. Here's the pitch. This time, did he get him?
I
Nope,
think he got
foul
a piece
ball.
of it, yeah. He's hanging by a thread here. Breaking ball, and recall his last at bat, he struck out on a bounce changeup. I'm in swing mode here. Bounce another one. Yeah, he didn't do it again.
And this time he got him. 2 gone.
Good work by Rivera. Good recognition. I saw him slap the dirt with his glove, telling Wilson, go ahead, bury it, throw it down in the dirt. He's going to swing. It's a presidential matchup here, Wilson and Adams.
Lefty matchup as well. The pitch. It's a strike. Adams was swinging such a hot bat earlier when Freddie Freeman came back in July from the DL. He played some third base. Keep Adams' bat in there. 0-2.
Adams is, when he first came into the league, he was a big, powerful guy, but more of a line drive type hitter. He's retooled his swing a little bit. He gets more loft now and showing up in the home run numbers. This could be the last pitch of the ball game. Could be the last pitch of August right here. Or it might not be.
Well, Dave Horn hoping Wilson can close him out here. Dave retired today after over 42 years working for the Department of Defense. Congratulations, sir. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And we'll do it again.
Adams a 9 out of 29 as a pinch hitter with 2 home runs. The Lane Adams home run was the Braves' 9th pinch hit home run. I believe that leads Major League Baseball.
Swing and a miss.
Nice
Wilson
job.
strikes out the side. Cubs win 4-0 to start the homestand.
Yeah, very nice. After a disappointing road trip in which they only went 3-3 against the Reds and the Phillies, they come back home, continue their winning ways. They had swept Toronto to finish off the last homestand, so they dispatched Pittsburgh and now take game 1 of this series against the Bravos. And, similar formula, outstanding starting pitching. Not the blowout win, but solid offensive night with 6 runs going up on the board.
Hendricks over Newcomb. A nice finish to the month of August. And up next, expanded rosters. Cubs will make a few moves tomorrow. Supplement the roster, probably a few more early next week. And the Cubs now a season best 13 games over 500, 73 up and 60 down. Our On the Diamond interview is presented by James and Sons Fine Jewelers. Kelly.
All right, well, Renee, let's talk about your battery mate tonight. How do you assess the performance from Kyle tonight?
Was great. I think at the beginning, the first inning a little rough, but he keep his composed and he keep fighting there, keep locating the ball. Using his changeup is his best pitch, and he battled through it and he did a nice job.
You talk about Hendricks. You worked with Quintana last night. You haven't even been with the team for 2 weeks, but it sure seems like you've settled in quickly. What's the transition been like?
I mean, it's tough. I'll be honest. You gotta talk to them. You gotta know the players, know the attitude, know how to react. But it's one thing I like about this game and being a catcher. I love, being involved with the pitchers and try to learn from them.
Well, as Joe Maddon said it earlier, everybody's digging what you're doing behind the plate. But how about what you're doing at the plate? You're swinging a hot bat.
I just feel good right now. Try to keep it simple. Try to hit the ball, whatever the pitch at, and try to make a good contact.
Well, I know you're new to the parties after a win, so go enjoy yourself, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go, guys. Rene Rivera, 1 for 2 tonight.
Kelly, thank you. Man, these catchers, pretty impressive. Alex Avila and Rene Rivera have done a terrific job. I would imagine Victor Caratini will be back in the next 24 hours as well. And Rene Rivera receives a gift card courtesy of James & Sons Fine Jewelers. Thanks, Rene, for joining us. We're back on CSN 12:30 for our pregame coverage on Saturday. Cubs and the Braves in Game 3 of this holiday weekend set. For JD, for Kelly, and our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, Len Casper with your final score. Cubs 6, Braves 2. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live is next.